We're here this morning with Michael Andre, President and CEO of Gateway Ticketing in Boyertown. Michael, thanks for taking time this morning.
Glad to be here.
How are you?
I'm good. Things are pretty busy this time of year for us.
We just had some news in the newspaper about your expansion plans. Give me the basic details on that. How much space? Where is it going to be? How much is it costing, and why do it?
Okay, we're building a brand new facility for Gateway Ticketing Systems. It's going to be about 42,000 square feet, a two-story building on County Line Road, just off of Route 100 in Gilbertsville, near Boyertown. We're looking for the next, 25 years of growth for the company. We're here in Boyertown. We've been here since 1997, and we've grown nicely in the facility that we're in, and it's just time to move to that next level of environment for our employees and our customers.
It's a good thing to have to move to a bigger space. That means the company's growing.
We're growing. Yeah, we started with just a handful of people in 1988, and now we're up to 93 people worldwide, 80 people right here in Boyertown. And we're looking to add about 15 more people over the next couple of years.
Tell me a little bit about how the company started. We were talking earlier, and you told me the story about kind of the chicken coop. Give me the details on that.
So there were three founders to the company, and our senior founder, Peter Grumblad, lived on a farm in Ole Township, and his office was an outbuilding on the farm. That was nicely sort of renovated and heated with a wood stove, and that was Peter's office. And as the story is told, that building was once a chicken coop, or held chickens. We had a funny story with a customer of ours. We had borrowed one of their computers and sent it back to them, and they had opened it up and found some feathers in it. So that just sort of substantiates that story. So yeah, we were kind of founded in what we affectionately call the chicken coop.
And the business today is focused on event ticketing, but it wasn't always that way at the beginning.
The early stage of the company was focused on transportation ticketing for intercity bus companies, including Greyhound. Greyhound's the nation's only national long-distance carrier, and we also did work for Greyhound Canada back in those days. So we focused on bus ticketing in the beginning.
And do you still do the transportation side, or has that kind of become a secondary part of the company?
It's become a smaller part of the company because of growth in so many other areas. So we have about approximately the same number of customers that we do their bus ticketing for them. But we've made tremendous growth in areas including theme park and attraction ticketing, museums, zoos, aquariums, water parks.
And how did that happen?
Well, what we realized was in some of our software development philosophies that we had created a very flexible software system to sell tickets. So it wasn't something that only bus companies could use. In 1991, we were able to land a project with Disneyland, of all places, to do their ticketing. What came about was the fact that we had a very flexible, fast system, and that's what Disneyland needed to sell, 10 to 12 million tickets a year into their parks.
Was there a moment when you were working on getting the account, and then you actually got it? Was that like a watershed moment that everybody knew, this is going to change the company?
It was amazing. At that point, I think we were maybe 14 people in the company, a little company in Boyertown, Berks County, that nobody's ever heard of, landing a big project in conjunction with AT&T, but for Disneyland in California. Yeah, it was just an incredible moment for us. It was so much fun, so much work, but exciting as well.
Did that lead to other Disney accounts then too?
Over the years it has. We do the ticketing for Tokyo Disneyland, Paris as well, and we're working on the Shanghai project, the new Shanghai Disneyland park that's going to open in Shanghai in 2015, I think.
But not Orlando?
Not Orlando. We still have hopes to work on that. Orlando is kind of a special situation. We're actually kind of in a competitive environment. There's other companies that do things similar to what we do, and I guess I would say we hope someday to be in Orlando as well with them. We do have Universal Studios in Orlando as a customer, and working on a project for Universal Studios Hollywood. So working there with the big guys.
Talk about the competition. How many other companies are kind of doing what you do?
You know, around the world there could be a dozen or so.
So not many.
Not many, not large, each in sort of different niche markets. One might specialize in museums, one might specialize more in ski slopes or water parks. There's a handful of competitors, no really large organizations that are trying to do what we do. I think it's just sort of very niche specialized. It takes a lot of industry knowledge to do what we do.
What share of the market would you say that you have?
That's going to depend on
How you define the market?
how you define the market. Yeah, and we've done our own studies to try to figure out what exactly is our market. So if you look at it on a global basis, some of our markets we could be even just 15% or maybe 20% of the market. Other ones, if you narrowly define it as zoos in the United States, it's going to be a higher number.
And you're not really competing with someone like Ticketmaster, for example.
Right. Ticketmaster is a company that sells tickets on behalf of their customers. We're a company that provides systems to our customers to sell their own tickets, so they have much more control. The costs are lower. They don't have an expensive service fee that rides on top of it that you might get with a third-party ticket selling service.
Sure. And where do you see as the growth areas? You're moving into that new building.
Mm-hmm.
Where are you trying to take the company in terms of new customers, new markets?
Mm-hmm. We're pretty set in the specific industry markets that we're in, between the ones I mentioned, the museums, zoos, water parks, and so on. We see the growth in adding to our customer base and the change in technology as we move from just being able to sell a ticket with a computer in 1988 to doing ticket selling websites in 2000 now. Of course, mobile is all the rage, and there's going to be the next generation of technology beyond that as we look at things like near field communication, paying with your phone, those kinds of things. So, and then there's another aspect of it, which is customer relationship management, and not having the ticket just be the means by which you get into a park or a venue, but it's your connection to that establishment. So think of it as a loyalty card or a debit card or a charge card where you can load cash on it and use that within the facility, or really create that engagement vehicle between the guest and the organization.
As opposed to just being a ticket that you get and use it one time and then you're done.
Exactly. There's more of a move to make those things be more membership-based. Even automatically, instead of an annual membership, it just becomes a monthly payment, almost like a subscription. You might have a Netflix monthly subscription that you have, and it just goes on perpetually. Many of our customer organizations are moving to a mode where that's how your membership works. So instead of an annual subscription, you just have a low monthly fee, and you're just a permanent supporter of that organization with all the membership entitlements that come with it.
Probably facilitates customer retention if you do it that way, I would guess.
It certainly helps with customer retention, and there's also the benefit of that member then can use that card within say the museum or the zoo, and get their membership discount at a food location or a retail location. And we can aggregate that data, and we can actually look at spending habits then of their members and tailor promotions to those members and help them better understand guest patterns throughout their venue.
Well, we'll let that be the last word. It sounds like there's a phone call coming in for you. Michael, thanks for your time today.
Great, thank you.